Hello and welcome to my channel, I Win to Lose Gaming. Today we're going to be taking a look at Freminet, but at Constellation 6, and eventually we will also push him to the limit in terms of his weapon as well. Alright, so since the last Constellation 0 video that I made on Freminet, I have double crowned him here because we have those resources available, as well as we have all his constellations, but they are not activated yet. So let's just take a very quick look at his damage output against the Cryoregistfine at Constellation 0 for now. But really quick, I've got an awesome sponsor for you all to check out today, L-Sword. L-Sword is an anime-style action 2.5D MMO with 14 characters, each with 4 paths for a whopping total of 56 different classes to choose from. There's a playstyle for every type of gamer. Play solo, play with friends, destroy epic raid bosses, and test your skills against others in PvP. There's all sorts of gameplay modes, and the game allows you to play how you want, with who you want, and when you want. And right now there's a super growth event to help new and returning players catch up and try different classes. Thanks to super growth, you'll get endgame gear and level up super fast to annihilate everything in your path. But wait, that's not all. This super growth event is supplemented with Keep Calm and Level On event, where you'll get a bunch of free early game gear to power you through and get you ready for the endgame raid content. You'll get valuable weapons and resources like a +9 enhancement Flames of Judgment weapon, items that increase materials, late game accessories, and even an amethystine prophecy reforge amulet. So what are you waiting for? Now's the perfect time to get a hyper-speed head start in L-Sword. Just smash that link down below to get started. Huge thanks to L-Sword for sponsoring today's video. And so we're just going to do his very basic combo, which is pretty much just N3, and then you just mash a bunch of left clicks, and just like very similar performance to the Constellation 0 video, barely finishes off the Cryoregistfine. So we're going to activate all 6 constellations. So if we do see his Constellation 6, we can see that we're going to have a little bit of an issue activating it against the Cryoregistfine because you have to trigger these reactions. So I'm going to try to build a few stacks by triggering Frozen with him, which I believe counts towards his Constellation 6. So let's go ahead and give it a shot. We're going to bump its little gauge thing down quite a bit. Get a couple freezes, break it. And then there we have the third freeze, I believe. So he should be at 3 stacks for very briefly. And he's doing a lot more damage, able to single cycle the Registfine even before his burst expired. I think his burst just barely expired. So in comparison to needing an entire full additional cycle, yeah, Freminet at Constellation 6 is doing a lot more damage. I'm going to actually have to go back and take a look to see how much more damage he ended up doing with his level 4 pressurized collapse. So yeah, I'll definitely have a side-by-side for you guys to take a look at there. Next, we're going to do a quick test in a full team scenario. Now, if you're aware of physical damages, pitfalls, well, unfortunately, when it comes to physical damage, so many enemies just really resist it. So we're going to give it a shot on the green chicken here, who I believe has roughly the same amount of physical resistance as his other types of resistances. So in other words, but yeah, we're also forced to use Bennett, which really sucks for Freminet. 80,000 damage against this thing. Not too shabby. And I can definitely see Freminet easily one-cycling this thing if I had Constellation 5 Bennett. But of course, I don't. So yeah, he's doing like 31k normal slashes just with the Snow Tomb Star Silver. Honestly, once we actually get a proper physical DPS support that can replace Bennett on a physical DPS team, we're going to be sitting pretty with Freminet and physical DPS characters like him, because yeah, that's actually not that bad, all things considered. Okay, so I did want to come up with a Bennett-less team, especially since my Bennett is a Constellation 6. So here's kind of what I've come up with. Here we have obviously Freminet still with the same build as previously, and we have Kuki Shinobu, and Kuki has the Favonius as well as the 4-piece Tenacity. And finally we have Yelan. I actually think Yelan is a good teammate for Freminet due to the fact that she actually adds a lot of bonus damage, and she can freeze for Freminet to activate Shatter. Now my Yelan is at Constellation 6, which is why you see me using the Hunter's Bow, as well as absolute garbage artifact with just some energy recharge, because otherwise Yelan steals the show, and you guys know how that goes. Now up next we have Mika with the Favonius Lance as well as the 4-piece Noblesse Oblige. So yeah, let's go ahead and take a look at this team. Alright, take 2, here we go. So hopefully we do the rotation a little bit better this time, and hopefully we get not too unlucky with getting clobbered by this giant chicken. And I think we're not getting too lucky in terms of the crits. But yeah, I feel like the damage is significantly lower than with Bennett. I mean, it's no surprise, right? This is the problem with Constellation 6 Bennett and physical characters right now. It's just that there's just no replacement for him, right? Like, even though we have all these characters, it just doesn't compare. But still, I mean, not too shabby, right? 2 rotation, pretty poor rotation execution. But yeah, as always, having Constellation 6 Bennett is a crux for these types of normal infusion characters. But I did want to take this team into Abyss 12 to see how it will do as a physical DPS team against the current Abyss 12. So we're going to do a pretty basic rotation here, pretty much the same as what we've been doing previously, and hopefully even by using it a little early, we're still able to single cycle the Kagumeki without having to output some additional bursts. Looks like we're struggling a bit to do that, but we did manage to do it. That's good. And it'd be nice to have like a utility weapon on Yelan, like the Favonius, but I feel like then she'll do too much damage. Okay, blinks away. We get another one off, which is good. Use Yelan to close the distance here. Open up with her burst. Iframe through that. Oops, that was bad. I think I accidentally did his cryo thing instead. So yeah, this definitely feels significantly worse than the Hyper Bloom version, and considering this is Constellation 6 Freminet in comparison, and still completing it slower than a Constellation 01 with Hyper Bloom just by replacing Mika with a single Dendro character. So I did do a Nuke Showcase with the Wolf's Gravestone as well for Freminet. Now, unfortunately, I don't think I actually managed to get the Wolf's Gravestone passive to proc activate here for the main nuke. But, oh well, 270,000, 845,000 damage is nothing to sneeze at. And that last hit, despite having the Wolf's Gravestone buff, unfortunately didn't crit. But yeah, still though, considering he can output 3 of those nukes during his one burst, is not all too shabby. So yeah, overall I actually think Constellation 6 Freminet is pretty solid, all things considered. Being able to one cycle the Regisfine actually, like way faster than even a character like Dea can, is a non-negligible achievement. Now, unfortunately, like most kind of sword, claymore, etc. basic attack users, he is hamstringed by the fact that if you do have Constellation 6 Bennett, unfortunately he's going to be doing pyro damage instead of physical damage, which is a big oof for your Freminet if you do have Constellation 6 Bennett. However, as far as 4-star power levels go, I actually think he's pretty solid of a character. Let me know what you guys think about Constellation 6 Freminet down in the comments below. And until we get that physical DPS support character that we've always needed, and no, sorry Mika, you're not enough, but we're probably going to need one on the Electro side to replace Bennett someday. Stay strong, my fellow Freminet havers. As always, I appreciate every single one of you. This is I Want to Lose, signing out.